Not long left now, it's just the end of this week. How are you feeling about getting out there and playing?
Uh, yeah, really excited. I mean, obviously involved with the GB stuff, and it's really sort of getting going with all that. So getting back out on the fly is going to be great. Really enjoyed it last year. The tournament setup and everything's great. So yeah, really looking forward to getting back out on the field.
How are your kind of final preparations going? What last little bits are you working on ahead of it?
Mainly fitness. It's one of those games where it's non-stop, up and down, and fitness is one of the biggest things on my list. Just to make sure can keep up to speed with the game and be the best I can be, and then also just keeping on top of my stick skills. Again, because it's a very short, sharp game, and then also just trying to eat a bit better, because I don't have the best diet, but if I can change a few little things and stick to a good diet and train hard, and got no problems.
Steve, you mentioned you were there last year. What's the biggest thing do you think you'll take from last year into this year that you learned?
Well, I suppose last year was kind of my first experience of playing it, and it was definitely an eye opener. Again, fitness comes into it, but I think one of the biggest things for me was the sort of decision making, handling side of it. You've got to be so precise, because when if you take a shot and lose the ball, you don't get it back. Again, if it goes down, then it goes straight up the other end. So very back and forth. So you just got to make sure your handling's on point to keep the ball in play.
Mm-hmm. So what does it mean for you to be chosen as captain this year? What is kind of that role and responsibility like?
It's been a pleasure, because I kind of didn't expect it, but then it's being more of a senior player now. I feel like I'm ready to sort of take that responsibility. Knowing the game sort of as well as I do, I can help other guys progress and perform to the best of their ability.
Are there any of the players in particular on this team that you're looking forward to play with? Are there any on opposition teams that you're looking forward to play against, should I say?
Yeah. So on our team, I've got that guy who, again, he's one of the guys that I've played with for a fair few years now, and we're both very creative players, and we bounce off each other really well. So I'm looking forward to that one especially. And then a couple of the guys that play box, I know they're very sneaky with handling and stuff like that. So that's another one looking forward to. And then opposition wise, there's a few guys from my club team on, I think it's Hustle. So Josh Turner, Josh Hurry, Will Brown, and then George Ivers as well. They're all on the same team, which is going to be a fun one to play, because they know me very well. So it'll be interesting to see how they react to how I play and what tactics they'll use. So I think that's probably what I'm looking forward to most.
What do you kind of hope that you will learn and take away from this tournament moving forward to help you kind of in lacrosse and also personally, I guess?
I think I get learning the game sort of more and more. The more you play, the more you learn. It's still being worked out with all like the rules and tactics and what's best to do when and where, and just how to play the game essentially. And then I think one of the biggest things I've always sort of said about lacrosse is just the social side of it, meeting new guys, and this type of tournament, the fly especially, brings you all together. You're all at one venue, you eat together, you meet after the games, and you just meet a whole bunch of new people, which the lacrosse community has always been amazing for.
Kind of just finally for me, obviously as captain, this team might not know each other so well, and they're not going to have long to necessarily get to know each other's playing styles. How are you going to approach that and make sure this team gels as quickly and we bring back that title?
Just make sure we all sort of, meet up early, get to know each other, like get names like hammered down to each other, and then I think one of the big things is making sure we each know roles and responsibilities. Again, in this type of game, there's not much margin for error, so making sure, again, knowing that there's one voice when we come into timeouts, halftime, etc., and then just making sure we stick to a game plan. I think that's, again, one of the biggest things in this format.
Rise play Swift in the first game this year. They've got a decent team, a young team coached by Richard Gartside. What are your thoughts about that first game? Have you been talking to coach Sam Ives and the team about it? What are your thoughts?
So we haven't spoken much about actually playing the first game. We've kind of just stuck to what we want to do. So we haven't really done much sort of scouting or what we can do against them. It's more as a whole what we want to achieve. So I was coached by Gartside back when I was younger, so I know his style a little bit. I think the main thing is focus on ourselves, get into a good rhythm. I always think if you get a good start in sixes, it gives you that bit of confidence going forward. So sticking to our game plan.
And you mentioned now last year you haven't really played much sixes, and this year you kind of have. I'm just interested because you were in Dresden with Team GB. When was it? 2 weeks ago. How does having that opportunity to play at a really high level in the sixes game, how is that helping you prepare for the fly? How was that?
Really good. Again, as I said before, the more you play the game, the better it is, and the more you understand it. We're still in a massive phase of working out tactics and all that. But getting to play at that high level just gives you that much more of an insight to how to play the game. You see different things from different teams, and it's just a massive learning curve, and it's only going to get better after this weekend.